going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 Trader with 920 Trading and Trading Decoded. Today is Tuesday, October 8th, and this is how we traded SPY today, folks. But if you go back to this morning's video, so I did a pre-market analysis on what I was looking for and what I would be looking for throughout the trading day, you'll see the levels that I was talking about. Again, folks, we have pre-market high. So when I was making the video earlier, the pre-market high was around 570.26-ish or so. Now we did push up the last couple of minutes to in pre-market all the way up to about 570.57. All right, so 570.57 to the upside. Pre-market low sitting down at 570 or 567.85. And again, we had this level down here. We were looking for 566.82. And then levels up top, let me see, 571.65 and then 572.92. But as you can see from the smiley face, folks, we got this nothing initially first thing in the morning, and I guess we were 23 minutes into the day before. And again, I didn't want to take this back to the downside, and I'll show you why I didn't want to take it back to the downside, because we were trending up. Okay, so again, this is a 30-minute. If you look at it from a 15-minute standpoint, look at what we're doing. Again, 15-minute. Now, had we hit a really, really nice demand zone. So again, if we hit a really, really nice demand zone up here, then you can take it off this demand zone, or even pre-market high. If we would have wicked up and then recaptured this, recaptured pre-market high, maybe a little fishtail play, maybe below the 20, something like that, we could have taken it back to the downside. But we didn't hit it in here, so I wasn't really interested in taking anything to the downside. I was looking for an upside play at this time. But again, we got this cross to the upside. Then that first green candle that closed after we got the cross right in here, 11:53, the close of that. Now, once we got up to this area, I was looking for this 571.65. Okay, so I was absolutely looking for that level up there. And I would have taken it off the table at that point. But again, I didn't. Look at this, took it off, when we kind of pulled back just a little bit. Next play back to the upside, folks, and you can see what we're doing in here. Next play back to the upside, took it here, and again, kind of that same thing. So we pushed through, and at this point, I'm looking for support on this level right here, and it looked like we were going to start coming down just a little bit, so took it off the table here. Now, next play to the upside actually is a losing trade, and folks, we have losing trades, or I have losing trades on the regular. But look what it did. I tried to push up. Volume became very, very light. It pushed down. And you could have made there. Actually, no, there's no case to be made to hold on to this trade at this point when we were breaching this 571.65. You just can't. You can look at it after the fact and go, well, if you just would have held on a few more minutes, it would have turned around. You don't know that in real time. So again, I predefined that risk, and this was my level of risk right down here, breaching that 571.65. We're getting really, really close. And again, we actually got a signal to get in back to the downside. So probably held on to this a little bit too long, given the fact that we weren't pushing up and the volume candles were getting really, really small. But again, look what we did after that, folks. I mean, we had this little push to the upside, and then this moderately decent play back to the downside. And this was, we're a couple hours into the day, three and a half hours into the day at this point. It's 1 o'clock dump. I mean, 1 o'clock, and then boom, it's just back to the downside. But let me show you something here real quickly. And again, you can see what it did the rest of the day. It just push. Okay. When you combine the 920, okay, because again, I called out a few of these plays. When you combine the 920 with your major levels and you're using volume profile, and again, I did this yesterday, folks. I did this live yesterday, and again, I do it live with the group every single day. So again, we're looking at levels, and I'm telling the group, I said, okay, if we get a close above this is what I'm looking to happen. So we get this little close right up in here, folks. Look at this. I think the level was 571.32. It's right here. You can see this shelf right here. It is old resistance. See this resistance right in here, and it's becoming support. As soon as we get above that level, folks, that becomes a pretty simple move back to the upside. Now, again, this is kind of late in the day for me to be trading, but again, I saw all of these plays setting up. Again, cross to the upside, looking for these big pushes. The next cross to the upside right up in here, and again, kind of bounced around a little bit, another cross to the upside. And this was, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, hour and a half before close. This last play back to the upside, folks, happened just after 2 o'clock, so about 3 o'clock, 3:15 or so. This is the level that I was looking to get above. And I talked to the group and I said, okay, folks, it's 572, basically 572.50. Again, you can see this shelf right here. And I said, okay, folks, here's what we got going on. We're an uptrending day. Obviously, you can see everything's trending up. We're an uptrending day. We're getting a cross to the upside. An additional, it's a continuation play, but we're getting a cross to the upside. And then look right at the volume profile. If we get a close above 572.48, and again, it's a fishtail play, then we can take this thing to the upside with the stop being a close below that 48. So again, let me make these candles a little bit bigger in here. Again, right in here, this is where you put on this play right here. The only thing that you're really looking for from a rejection point is this 20. So this becomes resistance. So resistance right here, rejection point, whatever you want to call it. Once we got past this 20, then what we're looking for 572.92. And again, let's combine that again with this little nodule right here, folks. And again, this is on the 1 minute. When we look at it on the 5 minutes, so we'll remember that level. So 72.50. Let's call it 72.50. Up here, so 72.50, what do we have? What do we have at 72.50? Right in here, folks, right there. There you go. There's that little nodule. There's the same thing right here on the higher time frame. Okay, if we look at it on and again, look at the 5 minute right here. It's pushing up. Look at it on 30 minutes, so we're looking at 72.50 again. What do we have? 72.50 right up in here, folks. Look, it's all thin volume. It's all thin volume up in here, folks. So look at this. It's just push, push, push. Again, once we got past this 72.50 right here, it was free to do what it wanted to do. And you can look left and say, okay, we had this resistance here earlier, but who cares? Who cares, folks? Again, we're getting a fresh cross. We're above this level right here. Again, 572.49, 572.50. Once we get above that, that becomes our stop. What is the risk? There is very, very, very low risk. And you're thinking, well, did you execute? No, I wasn't trading. I was looking for later in the day. I should have executed right in here. I saw it set up just as clear as the day is long. But again, I'm looking for that last 20 or 30 minute play, and that's right in here, folks. And it's just too late to play. Yesterday, we had a beautiful, beautiful setup at 350. Today, we didn't. What's a 350 look like today? Ugly. I told the group, I said, I'm looking for calls up here. I'm certainly not looking for puts because you're kind of in no man's land. You're not, you had a little bit of thin volume down here, but didn't really have a whole lot of room. It's an uptrending day, so you're typically looking for calls unless you're at a known rejection point or known resistance or take a fishtail back to the downside, but we were nowhere close to that. So again, I was only looking for calls right here at 350, and we get a red candle. Now next candle printed, yeah, you could have taken that, but there's, and then at that point you're starting to look left. And then even right here, well, how much resistance do you have there? But this is how she played out today, folks. This is it. If you take like a day like today, and there were some bad price action at times today, no question about that. But by and large, it was a much, much better day than we have had, the last 3 weeks or so. Notwithstanding a few plays in there, folks, there have been some really, really good plays. Yesterday we had an hour and a half or so, which we had some really, really nice plays back to the downside. But again, when you combine, you're combining the 920, you're combining major levels, and you're combining the volume profile to give you these specific levels. When you put all three of those things together, folks, what's left? The only thing that's left is execute. Now, you're not going to win all these trades. If your expectation is to win every single trade, it's just not going to happen. You're going to be sorely disappointed, and you probably won't trade for a long time. The expectation when you put on a trade is that something is going to happen, not that you're going to make money. And the good news is, as long as you have a good, fair, verifiable edge, that you know over time you will be all right and you will make money, then the single trade, it doesn't matter. It's insignificant. But at the same time, you must trade every single trade as though it's the most important trade that you will ever put on in your life, bar none. There can be no equivocation, folks. Every single time you push that button, you better make sure that that is the most important trade that you will ever put on in your life. If it's not, you can't play it. You can't play it, folks. It needs and it deserves your attention 100% and your respect 100%. I don't care what your specific strategy is. You must give that the attention that it deserves. And again, it's the most important trade that you will ever take in your life. But it's insignificant overall. Again, try to square that up. It's quite simple if you think about it. But anyway, that's how she plays out today. Have no earthly idea what we're going to be looking for tomorrow. Probably do a pre-market analysis video again. Only because tomorrow's pre-CPI. We don't know what's going to go on. Again, let's look at this from a 30-minute to see where some potential action is back to the downside. Well, maybe up here at 574-ish. And then we're hitting all-time highs at that point. Pretty close, somewhere right around in here. But anyway, folks, that is how she played out today. Overall, it was a very good day. Lots of really nice price action relative to what we have seen the last 3 weeks. So if you like our videos, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be notified when we drop new content, which is multiple times a week and sometimes on the weekends, folks, sometimes on the weekends. Also, don't forget to leave us a comment. I appreciate all those. I respond individually to every single comment, unless it's spam. If it's a spam comment, probably not. Also, don't forget to share with your friends, neighbors, trading community, folks, and family. Share far and wide. It's greatly appreciated. Now, if you are interested, this is where the rubber meets the road. If you're interested in live daily trading, I know you are. You have to be interested in live daily trading. If you want to get better and you're interested in live daily trading, hit that link down below. It's called Trading Decoded. That's our live trading Discord. We're going to give you the first week for free. There's value in that. Again, folks, we talk through each one of these setups every single day. Again, it's called Trading Decoded. And again, first week for free. If you don't like it, great. Send me a message. We'll figure out why you didn't like it. Also, if you're interested in the 920 crossover strategy, head on over to 920trading.com. The entire strategy is there for the entire world to see at no cost to you other than time. It's time, folks. It's the time that is required to put in the study to be good at anything. You know, I was talking to the group earlier today, and I asked them, I said, practice makes. What does practice makes? What's the first thing that comes top of mind when somebody says practice makes? Practice makes what? People said perfect. And I said, no, practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Whatever you practice on, that will become permanent. It can be the right things. It can be the wrong things. Remember, any outcome you would like to achieve is just a point on the spectrum of repetitions, folks. So make sure that those are good repetitions. Anyway, thank you for spending a little bit of your precious time with us. We greatly appreciate it. We hope you had a good day today. But above all else, and you know I say the same thing every day, I hope you followed your trading plan. The beauty's in the trading plan, folks. It's not in the results. You can be process-oriented or you can be results-oriented. Ultimately, becoming process-oriented, you will do much better in the long term. But anyway, thank you again for spending a little bit of time with us. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow's pre-CPI day, and those days generally are pretty good. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. We're going to do it again tomorrow, but until then, we will see you in the markets.